Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Hope you guys are doing well. Per request, we're going to do a quick rundown on our Chevy truck. This is our primary truck that we use for our daily construction business. Fencing is our number one service that we offer, so this truck is kind of set up mostly for fencing, but it can be applied to, we can do all types of work with this. Come on in, I'll take you for a little tour. This is a 2019 Chevy 3500 dually, 6-liter gas. It's got between 100 and 200,000 miles. I'm not going to say which end of the spectrum it is, but she's a good runner. I've had this motor these trucks up to 300,000 plus miles, still running good. Big Chevy guy. Ford guys just keep scrolling, no offense. Anyways, come on in, let me show you inside. Not a lot to see in the cab here, but there was a wise man that told me one time, you can judge a man by the cleanliness of his door jambs. So it's not perfect, but I think that's a pretty clean door jamb there. We keep it simple inside. We don't have McDonald's wrappers. We don't have Wendy's wrappers. We don't eat that trash. A couple things here. Quickly grab some Milwaukee's. That's the best $7 you're gonna spend right there. Those are not full sunglasses, but halfway. We got some ear protection when we're on the machine. Bringing in the O'Keeffe's for the winter time. Okay, nothing really else to see. We got a high vis for when we go to the dump, which is required. Talk a little bit about the bed here. This is a 12-foot flatbed, wood floor, which I prefer. A metal floor gets a little too slick when you're hauling loads on it. When I originally purchased this truck, this headache rack just flapped around in the wind, wasn't on there. We had a local shop, Cobra Trucking, shout out to Cobra Trucking, great guys. They built these pillars here to mount this headache rack on. They built these sides so we can, whenever we got a load of lumber, we can put our straps on there, strap it down tight. They put those on. They mounted the toolboxes. We got these fenders put on. These are a lifesaver. You wouldn't think it, but that's gonna be worth the money every time. Keep the boxes, keep the under of the truck clean. They look nice in my opinion. So put some bedsides on it. These are just easy to pop on and off. Nothing crazy here, just built these at the shop. Pull them up, pull them down. Let's take a look at the toolbox. Uh-oh. It is locked. For safety. All right. This is kind of the, I'd call it hardware. Let's see what we got. Strap, mix and match box of screws. We got some 9-gauge DeWalt staples for our fence stapler. Couple pouches, squares. This is a key. You're gonna want a couple of these on the truck. Just a full DeWalt set there. We got 2 of those. They come in handy all the time. Some bits. Three-inch deck screws. This is just kind of an assorted fence box. Some of the things that frequently we come up to a job and we need, we kind of just keep in this box. So we've always got extras. Some hand tools required. Fence staplers. Got a bunch of hammers. Bunch of tapes. This right here, the Lufkin 25, I prefer a 16, but that's, in my opinion, that's the #1 tape on the market. Let's see. Standard fence pliers. These things are pretty beat up these days. String line, levels. This is just the hand tool box. Basically, when we show up to the job, this gets pulled out of the truck and just set where we're working so everybody has access to that. Coming back to the trailer. This, I believe, is a 10-foot deck trailer. This has quite a few different attachments on it here. And this is designed specifically for the mini skid steer that we run. You got your forks right here, right on the side. We got our auger attachment that mounts right up here. pull the machine right in, grab the auger. Super easy and efficient. We've got a knack toolbox up top here. We can go through this in a minute just to show you what we've got in there. And it brings you back to the Dingo 222. This has been a lifesaver in our business, and I would recommend one to anybody in the construction industry, no matter what you're doing. You're laying mulch, you're doing concrete. This is gonna save your back. We've got the forks, like I said, the auger. We dig holes, we move concrete, we pick up lumber. On paper, this machine is not gonna be that impressive compared to the new stuff that's out there. It's, I believe, 22 horsepower gas motor. It'll lift about 500 pounds, but look at the size of this thing. This fits anywhere. The tires don't tear up a yard. I've had this for 5 years without an issue that I couldn't fix on site, and I'm not the most mechanical guy. So I mean, they're relatively inexpensive. It's gonna save your life, potentially. So this really goes the distance. I have a larger mini skid as well, and I think I'm gonna do a comparison on the pros and cons of each, but 9 out of 10 jobs, this is what I'm taking to the job, even though it's small but mighty. So I want to show you guys what we've got going on this side of the trailer. Shout out again to Cobra Trucking. We've got pretty much set up with all of our hand tools here. Levels, shovels, post hole diggers, rakes, brooms, all our stakes for setting string lines. A couple wood blocks to smack things down when you need. This doesn't look like much, but this is a custom tool here. It actually broke last time. But shout out to our buddy Dave. He made this for us. And we need to make version 2 because it's obviously cracked, but this is for stretching fence wire. You put that in there, pull it. You can use your whole leg as leverage. Pretty nice. A couple, tricks of the trade from some old timers. Sludge, necessary. As you go, you kind of learn just what tools you need and what makes the most sense, but I like to have all of this stuff off the truck. Keep the truck bed clean just for materials, and this is easily accessible. You don't have to climb up on the bed. You just come, grab your tools. Everything that gets real dirty and worked is just on this trailer. There's a lot going on here, but it does the job. So let's move on to our toolbox here. Also locked to prevent theft. Not impressed with the keys or the lock system on these boxes, but otherwise pretty impressed with the box. This is a beauty right here. It's a sea of yellow. If you like red, I'm not against it. These just usually have a little bit better deal. We've got the 4-pack charger. Big old bag of batteries. Everything that you need there. I'm just gonna give you a quick rundown of, this is pretty much the essential tools for what we do. Radio, gotta have tunes. This is in the back, gets rarely used, but some custom cuts once in a while. Blower, you wouldn't think it, but that's probably used on a daily basis. Box, we just got all of our blades, all of our drill bits, all the special heads. We use a lot of T25s. We use a lot of PH3s. All the chalks, happy chalks. Trying to keep it organized, trying to keep it clean so you're not searching for a tool for an hour when you're at a job site. Classic Sawzall. If I can touch base on this real quick, do not cheap out on the DeWalt Sawzall and get the one for $99. Try to find this in a package deal and get the Flex Volt Sawzall. It's a lot smoother, variable speed control. This thing's been in the trenches. She's working good. Obviously drills, impacts, hammer drills. I think we got a multi-tool tucked in here. That's not really used too often. Couple Flex Volt circular saws. One of my favorite tools, the DeWalt brushless 9-gauge stapler. We've had a few of these. They last, I'd like to say, a year and a half. For 600 bucks, I do think they should last a bit longer than that. But this is gonna change your life. Putting up wire, throw the battery on, you're good to go. The nails are expensive, but this thing saves so much time. Milwaukee came out with one pretty recently. I am interested. I've heard great things. I'd really like to try the Milwaukee. This one has some flaws, but it does get the job done. That's the power toolbox. Okay, we're gonna jump up on here. We'll go through the knack box. This is pretty much all the extra tools that we don't need immediate access to all the time. We've got some extra nails here, straps, air compressor, chainsaw. What else we got in here? Some chainsaw, lube, oil, a couple nailers, extension cords, weed whacker, tire inflator, everything that, all the stuff that you need but you don't necessarily need all the time, we keep up in here. Extra box of assorted screws, just good to go. So it's kind of what we're working with there. So there it is, guys. It's a simple setup. It's kind of a couple years in the making, just slowly figuring out what exactly works for us. And your setup is going to be different, and so it works for you properly. But this is a clean setup. I would prefer probably a 16-foot bed over a 12-foot bed, which our other truck is. But this is a little bit more nimble, a little easier to drive around, and it works out well. So try to get some videos of it in action, maybe go in depth a little bit more on some of the usefulness of it, but wanted to give you a quick rundown, and I hope you guys enjoy. Take it easy.